All right, okay, we have everyone here already, just like your team, the transition monitoring group monitoring the election. You're the coordinator here in Lagos specifically, and we have seen that it is important that Nigerians and Nigeria get this right and moving, looking at the strategic position we share on the continent. Going forward, looking at the messages that have been passed, we really can't have more than enough when we talk about messages for the people. How best can we bring in the traditional institution? Because when you started telling us about those people you have met, you spoke about the religious leaders, the market women, and so many other groups. I just realized that we didn't say anything about the traditional institution. We have some chiefs, town chiefs, and the big chiefs in different parts of the country. Have we been able to speak to them, to the conscience, and see how they can also talk to those in their domain?
They are one of the key people that we have identified to speak to in this process. We were in Ogun State, and where we had a big meeting with different stakeholders in Nigeria, and we also had the traditional ruler from one of the towns in Ogun State who was also with us at that meeting, and it was actually also for him to be able to carry the message also to the council to talk to other traditional rulers, especially given the fact that of recent people believe that the traditional rulers are also very, very political. The need for them to play that role of neutrality, and also to talk to the people about the need to have this coming election to be free from any form of violence, and also to be fair, and also to be credible.
Because the talk we've always gotten from that area is that they are fathers to all, irrespective of what you believe. So the partisan nature of some of them is what you say we should also try and de-emphasize, so that the message can properly come out objectively out of the traditional institution. Okay, Captain Numa, you heard him say, well, it's a no-go area. Well and fine, they're happy with us as a country that we have been able to achieve that amount of success, especially with the PVC distribution and security, which we are also highlighting right here, talking about Ugwoza that has just been taken over by the government forces. Do you think this would amount to anything credibility-wise if we don't have the observers or the monitors in the Northeast?
To some extent, it's actually going to affect an aspect of, do I call it confidence, or even it's going to affect an aspect of the credibility, as you said, of the entire results. But I still believe that if it had been well managed, we would have been able to see elections hold there. Because again, as I want to say, it's about confidence building. Don't forget, these places are still just as they are, and people have been taken in there to go and do their assignments and come back out. It's all about what you know about a place. What you know about a place actually builds your confidence levels to go there. As we approach elections, we're trying to tell people how to grapple with scenarios that may arise.
Again, I'm sorry, I have to cut you there. I'll come back to you very quickly. Okay. I just have Chimeze, our correspondent in Kaduna. He's live on the phone to give us update on what exactly is happening. Chimeze, a moment ago, rather, we spoke with Lucky in Katsina State. Tell us if there is any form of improvement. It's talking about the distribution of the sensitive INEC materials in Kaduna.
Okay, thank you, Sula. As at Wednesday, the sensitive and non-sensitive materials arrived to Kaduna State from INEC headquarters in Abuja. And so far, the Commission office in Kaduna has distributed all the items to the various local governments in Kaduna State. Of course, the security situation in Kaduna is very, very okay. Residents are also going about their normal businesses. But one thing I noticed this afternoon is that I went to the market and I discovered that there was a kind of panic buying residents trooped into the market to buy basic essentials, food items, and others ahead of tomorrow's election. Of course, this is consequent upon fear of what might happen if either of the presidential candidates win. Amid this fear of violence and possible imposition of curfew in the state, residents are now stockpiling food stuff at their homes, as well as making huge cash withdrawals from banks.
Okay,
They have also improved security within the state capital and other parts of the state.
Okay,
I also went to the motor park this morning, and I discovered that so many people are traveling to their various villages ahead of the election. While some of them who are traveling within the state capital of the state, others are leaving the state entirely, particularly those from the southern part of the state. I spoke to one or two of them and they told me that they are the ones they prefer to be in their villages during the election for fear of any violence. And they told me that they will come back until after the elections are over.
Now, Chimeze, I know that where you are, you have a place that is called Sabongari. What can you tell us about that area? I know predominantly it is having a lot of people that are not of that state. That is why it is called Sabo. Sabo means a new town or a new settlement, Sabongari. Are the people I've known from a past experience that whenever an election is coming or something to do with the nation taking a stance at some point, there are jitters that are coming out from places like that. What is the situation in Sabongari?
Well, so far the situation is very calm. But as I said earlier, residents, particularly non-indigenous, are leaving those areas. And their reason is just that because of any fear of violence during the election or even after. So, but by and large, there are so many security agencies on ground, the police, the army, civil defense, and even plainclothes security agencies. So they are on ground. But the whole thing is that the residents, in 2011, what happened in 2011, where so many lives were lost as a result of the post-election crisis around the state. So people don't want to take things by chance again. Therefore, some of them say they prefer to move out from where they are living now to their villages until the elections are over.
Basically, I want you to tell us what security is like, knowing full well this is pictures of the market scene that we have been watching as you speak. Security-wise, what it is like? Do you have security on the streets? Are they visibly, seen around Kaduna and its environment?
Yes, as I said last week, the one division of the Nigerian Army embarked on a roadshow to show their preparedness for the election. I went to some of areas like Regasa, Tudunwada, and Sabonteshia. There are many security men on ground at strategic locations. And even when I went to the market this morning, I also saw operatives of the Civil Defense Corps. They were there in the market to ensure the safety of lives and property of those in the market. And within the state capital, I think there's enough security. I also spoke with the Commissioner of Police, who assured me that the command has enough men on ground to secure lives and property of voters and entire residents before and after the election. So security-wise, I believe before the end of the day, maybe we'll be expecting more security men on ground. And I also learned that from the commissioner that more men will be coming from Abuja. They may be getting reinforcement from Abuja.
Are there complaints coming from any quarter, knowing full well that officially the campaigns have ended?
Hello.
If you can get to hear me, I'm asking if there are complaints from any quarter in Kaduna State about anyone who is doing any untoward act.
No, so far none for now, because already the command, the police command has already issued a warning to all political parties and their supporters to maintain law and conduct themselves in an orderly manner. And I believe for now, the state is calm and peaceful. People are busy going about their normal businesses. But the Commissioner of Police also told me that from 6 p.m. tonight, this evening, there will be restriction of movement in the state.
Let me get that again. Restriction of movement in the state from tonight.
Yes, that's what the Commissioner of Police told me. And of course, that they will also close all entry and exit points.
From what time, please?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. today?
Yes.
All right, okay, Chimeze, we'll get back to you. We'd like to thank you so very much for speaking with us and letting us in on this particular development in Kaduna.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Captain Aliu, sorry, we'll go back to you. We cut you short there, but you can also keep that in. And now we're going to see something quite different from what we have seen concerning the Electoral Act and the movement of persons on election day. For Kaduna State, as you heard from our correspondent there, Chimeze, he said, well, the police has declared, well, no movement from 6 p.m. today, not even tomorrow.
Yes, that actually being what it is, Kaduna being what we've known it to be with a history of insurgent attacks, may not come as entirely unusual from the police. I'll tell you something, tactically, there are some very crucial hours that must be safeguarded pre-elections. We don't want to wake up with a good morning bombs, March 28. And I'm telling you that if I enter an insurgent's head right now, one of my best options will be actually to start off that day by routing it and doing one or two things that can further erode whatever confidence is left of the people to go do their voting. So
this is some kind of preemptive move by the police.
Yes, exactly. You can preempt, you can prevent, you can protect, and you can do all three at once. So the police could be preempting that by dominating that particular terrain or that particular town as from 6. Okay? Typically, if you were going to defend Kaduna from the Jaji axis, you don't sit in Kaduna. You go to Konam Farakwai or further, so that if you fall back, you don't lose the town. So if we are going to actually secure that town for the elections, given the time frame the elections should take place, then those dragnets should already be entrenched and in place well before elections, not immediately the elections start. And if they decide to take it from 6, I think it's not too stringent.
It's not too far off.
It's not too far, exactly. It's not
too far off from Abuja as well.
Exactly.
It's just a couple of an hour, 30 minutes drive. What's the implication of this? The proximity of the capital city Abuja to Kaduna itself.
The proximity of the capital city from Kaduna to Abuja is they are virtually contiguous. They're virtually contiguous. So what we are going to look to see is those key strategic, or do I call them those key crucial hours pre-elections, must be guarded properly, tenaciously, so we don't start the elections on a wrong footing. For the insurgents, victory will be anything that can rout, embarrass, or infract the process. You understand what I'm saying? They have no stake, and the most dangerous man is in any situation is the one who has nothing to lose. So we won't take chances. Nothing will be left to chance. People will have to bear with that, but it's all for our collective good eventually.